Boots, like he's a tremendous talent, and he's no walk in the park for no one. So he's a threat to anyone that he step foot in the ring with. He got tremendous speed. He got great power, defense, reflexes, all that. But the only thing that I can say is I'm 10 steps ahead of him.
And
Never. I'm retired. I'm happily retired. It's Boost era. I pray and hope that he take it to the extreme. I pray nothing but success for him and his family. And all in all, it's all about and competitiveness, and people want to see, this generation. How would they do with the previous generation? The same way with people comparing me to.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Like, is that a fight you would want?
For sure, but he retired. Like he talking, but he retired. He ain't saying he want to fight, so he won't say he retired. Let him enjoy his retirement. And like he said, this the Boots era. He said it himself.
I've been doing that my whole career. I've been doubted my whole career. I've been talked about my whole career. I've been, I haven't fought this guy. I haven't fought this guy. And when I do fight these guys, or when I do step up, then it's always an excuse.
Okay, you're doing what retired people do. We talk like.
Yeah. So your dad has been with you a step of the way, the entire journey. What's the biggest argument you guys have had? And looking back on it, was he right?
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, me and my dad don't argue.
At all?
No, he really, my dad's 70 years old, but he still runs.
Has the most dominant boxer of this generation really walked away just as the sport's most dangerous rising contender was closing in? The boxing world has been turned upside down by the heated rivalry between the legendary Terence, Bud, Crawford and explosive knockout specialist Jaron, Boots, Ennis. For months, speculation has spread across the internet suggesting that Crawford's retirement may have been nothing more than a carefully planned illusion. To casual observers, it appears to be a champion peacefully ending his career. Yet behind the scenes, a fierce debate continues. Did Crawford retire because he had already accomplished everything? Or did he choose to step aside to protect his unbeaten record from a fearless young challenger determined to end his reign? The tension between both camps has reached its highest point, and the accusations flying in every direction have become incredibly explosive.
Crawford dug Boots Ennis. We just got to keep it real at this point. And by the end of this video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you why. Bud Crawford knew that Jaron Boots Ennis, a.k.a. the Omaha Nightmare, was coming. Pause. He knew that Boots was the next guy up in line. 147, you ain't fight him. 154, you ain't fight him. You beat Canelo, so now you have the ability to send offers as the A side. You ever send an offer to Jaron Boots Ennis? No, you did not, absolutely. Then you try to use an excuse and say that people wouldn't have gave you credit for beating Boots, which is an absolute lie at the highest level. The bottom line is, you're 38 years old and you did not want to deal with a hungry young lion. It's okay. Canelo did the same thing. Canelo wasn't trying to deal with no David Benavidez. Canelo got 500 rounds plus box. He wasn't trying to deal with the Mexican monster. Bud, you wasn't trying to deal with the Omaha Nightmare. It's okay, gang. We understand it. But your fans got to stop acting like you wanted that smoke with Boots Ennis, respectfully. And you add that with somebody else leaving the game, I don't know. We just got to keep it real at this point. You did not want smoke with that young, hungry lion, Jaron Boots.
For many outspoken boxing purists, an undefeated 42-0 record loses its shine if you never faced the unquestioned boogeyman of your generation. Almost instantly, public opinion surrounding Crawford's legacy began to change. A quick look through boxing Twitter or the endless discussions on Reddit reveals a ruthless consensus. Countless fans continue tagging Bud, filling his comment sections, and repeatedly accusing him of avoiding Jaron Ennis. They believe Crawford used retirement as the perfect escape route to stay away from Boots' youth, blazing speed, and devastating punching power. It is a difficult situation for any unbeaten champion to experience, watching a portion of your own supporters suddenly turn against you, convinced that you chose the safer option instead of accepting one final dangerous challenge. Anyone expecting Terence Crawford to quietly enjoy retirement while the internet questioned everything he accomplished was completely mistaken. The former pound-for-pound king finally answered his critics, and his response left no room for doubt. Through social media and interviews, Crawford completely rejected the suggestion that he had ever feared stepping into the ring with Ennis. He admitted that the non-stop accusations of ducking genuinely frustrated him, but he also made one point unmistakably clear. Crawford acknowledged Boots as an exceptional talent, yet confidently argued that his elite ring IQ, flawless timing, and years of championship experience place him on an entirely different level. As Bud made perfectly clear, he believes he isn't just a little better. He is 10 steps ahead of anything Boots could possibly offer.
It doesn't matter. What never matters, for that being, they would say, oh, well, he only fought Xander, or they'll come up with some type of excuse, but to credit Boots, like, he's a tremendous talent, and he's no walk in the park for no one, so he's a threat to anyone that he stepped foot in the ring with. He got tremendous speed, he got great power, defense, reflexes, all that, but the only thing that I can say is I'm 10 steps ahead of him. Like, I'm 10 steps ahead of him in smarts. And I think, that's where he'll get in trouble with, you know, coming straight forward, trying to box me, or trying to, think shot for shot. I just, compare myself, with a lot of great fighters, and I can see the holes in his game, and I can see the openings and the opportunities that I'll have.
Crawford didn't rely on bold words alone. The undisputed champion pointed to specific examples to support everything he claimed. Rather than simply insisting he would defeat Ennis, he explained exactly how he believed he would break him down while exposing weaknesses that many casual fans overlooked. After carefully studying Ennis' recent performances, especially his fight against Xander Zayas, Crawford highlighted major defensive openings left by the young star, while also emphasizing that he hits much harder, reacts more sharply, and owns noticeably faster hands than Zayas.
A, I feel like I punch harder than Xander. B, I'm way sharper than Xander. C, I'm way faster than Xander. So the shots that Xander was hitting him with, and the shots that Xander couldn't capitalize because his speed wasn't there, I will be able to capitalize. And when I capitalize, everybody know I'm probably one of the best counter punchers, there ever was. So,
Yes, sir. So you,
Terence
so
Crawford,
they say never say never. Are you saying never? And
Never. I'm retired. I'm happily retired. It's Boost era. I pray and hope that, he take it to the extreme. I pray nothing but success for him and his family, and all in all, it's all about competitiveness. And people want to see, this generation, how would they do with the previous generation? The same way with people comparing me to Floyd. We'll never fight, you know. So I wish him nothing but the best. I want to see.
From Crawford's perspective, facing Boots would never have developed into a brutal 12-round battle. Instead, he confidently stated that he would have taken full advantage of those defensive mistakes, landed perfectly timed counters, and most likely finished the fight long before the final bell.
Not to prove anything to anyone, to prove something to him. Because I know how you are, Terrence. But
There it is.
Listen. That when you get older and you realize, you know, you can prove things over and over and over, but the only person that you got to prove something to is yourself. You know, I've been doing that my whole career. I've been doubted my whole career. I've been talked about my whole career. I've been, you know, I haven't fought this guy. I haven't fought this guy. And when I do fight these guys, or when I do step up, then it's always an excuse. So now that 38 years old, about to be 39, I don't have nothing to prove. I didn't win everything there is to win. You know, I hope that Jaron have half of the career that I had, you know, or surpass me. If he surpassed me, I'm going to be rooting for him. You know, I'm going to be giving him his props. I'm not the type of fighter that, you know, want to see him fail. I want to see him succeed. I want to congratulate him. I want to see him, you know, make it to the Hall of Fame and, you know, congratulate him and things like that, you know. But when you say, oh, he would knock Terence Crawford out, or Terence Crawford ducked them, or Terence Crawford ran, and that's why Terence Crawford retired, it pisses me off sometimes, but at the same time, it's just the game.
You know the truth. Yeah, you know the truth.
To understand why Crawford's confident warnings barely affect Jaron Ennis, you first have to understand the environment that shaped him. Boots was never an ordinary prospect who accidentally found success. He was molded through an intense, almost machine-like upbringing in Philadelphia. From a young age, his father and older brothers kept him away from the distractions waiting in the streets. While other children enjoyed birthday parties, sleepovers, and everyday fun, Ennis spent his time inside the gym, traveling to amateur tournaments, and sacrificing a normal childhood in pursuit of greatness. His family constantly reminded him not to settle for local recognition, encouraging him to chase worldwide success instead. That demanding foundation built an elite mentality that refuses to feel fear or pressure regardless of who stands across the ring.
The male fighter.
When I joined the Navy, I told him, I said, take care of your mom, your sisters, and your mom. You the man until I get back. You are the man. And he been the man ever since. Taking care.
Been the man ever since. Talk to me about it. It looks like, for all intents and purposes, when we watch Terence, I've been around Terence a few different times, man, and Terence is an absolute alpha male, bro. When you see him walk by, he just carries it. Tim Bradley equated him a lot like a lion, just naturally dominant, not really trying to go out of his way, but just really being about that action. Talk to me about that.
T-Hard. He is not soft at all. He is not soft at all. You might, like when they said T is very humble, I'm like, they just don't know my son. But he is humble, you know.
But all dog, no question.
Exactly. He always been like.
When Boots was asked about Crawford's confident predictions and technical analysis, he didn't react with anger, loud words, or defensiveness. During his appearance on the Pivot podcast, he responded with calm confidence, brushing aside Bud's comments like an experienced veteran. He dismissed the entire rivalry, insisting that Crawford is now a retired fighter speaking comfortably from the sidelines while confidently stating that Crawford's team already understands the torch has officially been taken by the next generation.
You gonna get Bud out of retirement?
Channing
said, listen, I'm gonna tell you now, on this show, Boots, Channing told Bud there's a certain number you'd come back from. But after the last fight, he sent out a little, you're not on social media, so I'm gonna hip you to it. He sent out, he's like, hey man, I ain't gonna say nothing, but y'all see it.
Yeah, I don't really care.
Like, is that a fight you would want?
For sure, but you know, he retired. Like he talking, but he retired. He ain't saying he want to fight, so he won't say he retired. You know, let him enjoy his retirement. You know, And like he said, this the Boots era. He said it himself. Somebody, a couple people, come on, homies, send it to me. He like, yo, he talking about it. It's the Boots era. He know, you know. Yeah, it's different over here. I'm trying to tell you, it's different over here, yo. It's different.
Hypothetically, right? Would that be a fight that would even make sense? Like, would you say this is a big fight? Understandably, the legacy is there for Bud. But what is he, 39, 37? Something like that. And you're right there in the thick of your prime, right? Would that even be a thing? Like, you know?
No, it's definitely a big fight if he was a return, but he returned, I beat him, they're gonna be like he was old. It's always gonna be something. Like, it's like I said, when people be bringing up his name, I don't even really be caring. Like, he retired. Like, it's like he just talking. He doing what retired people do, talk.
According to Boots, this is unquestionably his time. He has no interest in chasing a retired legend simply for a payday. Instead, his full attention is focused on his own aggressive path, with plans to conquer the 154-pound division before eventually working his way toward dominating the super middleweight division as well.
You just said you want to go through all the divisions. When you started this journey, you know, if you were writing down, this is what I want to do, what would those accomplishments be?
Early on, when I first turned pro, my goals was to be undisputed at 147, 154, 160, and maybe 168.
Wow.
I think 168 gonna be my cutoff mark. At 147, I was able to become unified and lineal champ. So that was I had the IBF, the WBA, the Super WBA, and the Ring magazine. And like I said before, they was all playing around and stuff like that. So I couldn't get the other two belts. But now that I'm at 54, I'm gonna do that 54, be undisputed at 54, and then 60, and then maybe 168, or who knows, 60 could be my cutoff. But we'll see.
Wow.
Where do you walk around at?
I be up there. right now my weight cool because I got right back in the gym.
Right.
And so I was cool.
But is it challenging though, or you got to get there, so it's kind of for par?
It's not challenging because once I get in that mood and I turn that camp switch on and drink all my water and all that stuff, I be cool. It kind of like fall right off. But it do get it do get harder as you get older. With cutting weight, but I got a method, and I got, my mom, she helps me, with the food and things like that, so we kind of we be good.
You want to be the face of boxing?
I am the face of boxing.
Just when everyone believed this story had finally reached its conclusion, fresh whispers began spreading throughout the boxing world about a dramatic new twist. Behind closed doors, rumors have surfaced claiming that major promoters and international investors are preparing enormous career-high paydays in an effort to convince Crawford to leave retirement for this exact matchup. Everyone understands that retirement in boxing is rarely permanent once the financial numbers become large enough. Promoters recognize that a showdown between the experienced master and the explosive young destroyer represents one of the biggest money fights available. One major question continues hanging over everything. Can Crawford truly walk away from a life-changing payday, or will the desire to silence his loudest critics bring him back beneath the bright arena lights?
Work ethic and things like that. So I would say it's 50-50 for me. It balances out, and yeah, I think I would say 50-50.
There was a fight this weekend. What's the young kid's name?
Abdullah.
Right?
Yeah.
And people are starting to question because of his last two fights, the skill level, because but he's a banger, right? He'll fight, he'll stand in front of you. The times we've seen trainers go into the corner and say we need a knockout, right? Or you got to finish this fight. How important is it to be able to have a switch inside of you that says it can't just be about skill. It's not just about technique. I have to go out here and be a killer.
You gotta be that dog. Some fighters have dog in them, some fighters don't. And that's that switch you're talking about. And Abdullah got that dog. He turned that switch on and got the knockout at the 12th round. His team asked for the knockout and he gave it to him. So you gotta hit that. You gotta hit that switch. A lot of fighters don't have that switch though.
Have you ever been in that position where you felt like you had to turn that switch on?
I mean, I feel like I gave a little bit of that my last fight. I turned that switch on and gave y'all some dog work, with a bigger guy.
Well, do you see Pie
Excuse me?
Like, do you see, like, when you're
That
fighting?
is such a country question. I actually know what you're asking.
Yeah.
His first fight lasted like 42 seconds.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, do you see, like, when you get in the ring and y'all start boxing, at what point do you see pie, do you see pudding? Like, oh, this ain't art. I'm about to knock this bitch to sleep.
I mean, it depends how, like how the guy come out. You would know, sometimes you'll know within the first couple of seconds where they throwing shots and things like that. Sometimes you don't.
At the end of the day, both extraordinary fighters remain completely convinced that they possess the superior abilities and every advantage needed to win. Crawford stands behind a historic legacy as a two-division undisputed champion that many believe requires no additional proof, while Ennis continues building an intimidating resume as one of boxing's fastest-rising stars. Still, one unavoidable question remains. If these two elite competitors never meet inside the ring, will Crawford's remarkable career always carry a small shadow of uncertainty? Will fans forever wonder what might have happened if the master stepped away just as the next monster arrived? Let us know your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our future uploads. Share your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you in the next video.